Good morning, Rotary. How are we today? I didn't hear you. How are we today? All right, we're going to get started right away. We've got a good program for today. Let's kick it off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Mike, can you please lead us in the pledge to our nation's flag?
I will. Fellow Rotarians and guests, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Romero, can you please lead us in the four-way test?
My good friends, please join me this morning for the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it true?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
fourth,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
and number 5.
Is it fun?
Great things that you guys do and Rotary does together. It's seen in the faces and the smiles. I think it's a great message to everybody. Let's start off right away. I don't have any visiting Rotarians listed. Do I have any visiting Rotarians out there that did not sign in?
No.
All right, we'll move right away to guests. And David, you have a guest. All right, let's hear it for Jewel. My guest, you have a guest? Oh no, that's my guest. Matt, you're still here, right? All right, there's Matt. I get to see Matt at the gym, so let's hear from Matt. Martin and Troy, you have a guest?
We have Jason Johnson, Project K9 Hero. He's going to be speaking today.
Hey, Jason.
All right, let's hear from Jason. Karen Barr, you have a guest? No? Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Martin.
We have another guest, Jason Phillips with Inspire Class.
Okay, let's hear from Jason. And Eric's here, and I guess Karen is the one who invited you. Is that what you wrote her name down? I got it now. Okay, good. All right. Well, welcome, Eric. Let's hear from Eric.
Hey, Eric!
All right, we're going to move right into that moment where we recognize fellow Rotarians and think Rotary. And this is a great time for us to recognize either businesses or folks that are doing great things in our community. So, do we have any Think Rotary moments? None for today. Okay, well, we'll move on. Try to think of some for next week. That'd be real good. We'd appreciate that. Thank you. All right, we're going to move right into our Rotary Foundation. A member of the Foundation Committee will now share information about the Rotary International Foundation and the good we accomplish in the world through our collective support. Looks like we've got our Foundation chair. Let's hear it from Dave Peters.
So this morning we'll be recognizing people for their giving. The Paul Harris Fellowship is when people give amounts of $1,000 or more to the Paul Harris Foundation, to the Rotary International Foundation. And this is the funding that helps make the wheels turn. And so today I'd like to recognize Mike Harris for his Paul Harris Plus 2, which means he's given more than $3,000 to the foundation. Thank you, Mike. And I have a pin for you if you come up and grab it. It has 2 sapphire gems in it. Woo.
Yay!
You go back right away with the video that we saw at the beginning and all those smiles, the type of work that and the financial contribution that Mike and others have given out of this group. That leads to those smiles. We really appreciate that. Let's hear it again from Mike. You do a great job. And with that, we're going to move right into our main presentation with our speakers. So, without any further ado, let's hear it for our Vice President, Amanda Bay.
Best looking lawyer to see it. Where there's a bill, there's a bay.
All right, enough tomfoolery.
Tom.
Gerrymandering. Sorry. Okay, I'm channeling my inner Madeline. Okay, this morning it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Jason Johnson. I'm going to introduce Jason first and then his program. So Jason has over 25 years of experience from the military, civilian law enforcement, federal law enforcement, and international defense contracting sectors. You can't tell by looking at him either. Jason has served as a U.S. Army military police officer. I mean, he doesn't look old enough to have 25 years. U.S. military police officer, police SWAT K-9 officer, Department of State personnel security specialist K-9 in Iraq and Afghanistan, ATF course developer and instructor, DHS field K-9 coordinator, master's course level university instructor specializing in advanced executive protection. He's the CEO of K-9 Solutions International and CEO of Paradigm Defense Concepts. He has trained and instructed hundreds of military personnel, law enforcement, and federal agents globally. Jason holds a bachelor's and master's degree in security management from Bellevue University. Jason has had a passion for canines all his life and has dedicated his life to working with them as well as training and taking care of them. Jason believes that police canines perform selflessly for the departments and agencies they work for, and in return, they are not offered the same respect in their retirement years by those they serve. It is Jason's goal to ensure he educates the public on the costs and responsibilities of adopting a retired hero, and that every police canine in the United States has their medical, food, and end-of-duty costs taken care of for them so that they may live happy and healthy retirement that they deserve. Please welcome Jason Johnson.
Good morning.
Pop it out if you want.
Everybody has to have a job.
That's right. Thank you for having me today and the wonderful introduction. This is actually a bit of a homecoming for me. I haven't been up in Washington State for about the last 7 years, but I used to be a Puyallup police officer. I used to live in Yelm, so when we were at Fort Lewis back from '99 to '02. So that's before I went to Yakima. So it's been a great career, and it's actually my 26th year now. And what I learned through all the experience I've done and had is all these dogs I've worked with and trained, nobody was there to help them when they got out of service. That there's no government entity, there's no public funding to make sure that they're having a good retirement like veterans who have the VA program. So I wanted to make a change, make a difference. And that's what I've really worked hard to do since I started this foundation. We started in March 2016, and from there, I was still in the government. I was still a government employee. And being a federal employee in DC, they don't let you do too much in this realm. So after my first year, I quit the government and came full circle with running this program. And so far it's been great. We're doing some great things. So there's a few things I do want to talk about that's really going to affect a lot of you and how you can help me achieve my goals. So we take care of distinctly retired military working dogs and police canines. They can serve at the federal level, the local level, or the state level. They can serve right here in the city. They can serve for Thurston County State Patrol. We've helped dogs all across the state, and we help dogs all across the United States. So what I've been working hard on is a thing called the Canine Hero Act. It's an idea I recently had that I worked with Congress, and Congressman Ron Wright, he's out of the 6th District of Texas, introduced that for me. And that's gonna help us take federal money and put that towards retired military working dogs or federal law enforcement. Now, it's not really helping with the state and local dogs yet. However, that helps us with foundations like mine free up some of the funding to help with those. So right now that bill is on the floor. It's HR 5081. And what we need support to do is actually we need about 60% of the House and Senate to co-sponsor that bill. So once we get that co-sponsored, we can get that to a vote. Once we get it to a vote, we can start applying for the grant money, and that will help us directly put, we have over 100 pending applications in my program. Many of those are military working dogs, many of those are federal law enforcement. Obviously, as a foundation, we only can help so many as we bring in, so we can't help every dog that applies. So we look at two things. We look at financial burdens, and we look at the needs of the dogs. So I'll give you some examples. I think, does everyone have a card on their table? And, okay, that card you're holding right there, ma'am. There's two dogs on the postcard size, and I'll give you some examples, and I'll talk about them as examples only. On the dog that's jumping the German Shepherd, that's Axel. He's one of our national ambassadors. He served at the ATF Detroit Special Response Team 1. There's only 5 in the nation. He did over 200 high-risk search warrants across the nation. When I say high-risk search warrants, I'm talking about the Hells Angels, Countdown, and things like that. So he survived his career, and then he needed a home because his handler was getting a new SRT dog. He couldn't keep both of them. So Axel came to our program, and shortly after that, he came down with lung cancer. That was about almost 2 years ago. Axel's still alive today, but we're on a complete holistic program with him. But he's about $12,000 a year. So a lot of people would have no idea that $12,000 is what it costs to keep that hero living a good retirement. That's one example of Axel. The Canine Hero Act would help pay 100% of his medical bills and his special food. On the flip side, there's a Labrador Retriever. That's Canine Lori out of Spokane. Lori served with the U.S. Marshal's Office on the Joint FBI Counterterrorism Task Force. She's had some real life explosive finds there, and she had to retire early due to a bone disease in her elbow. This past year we did a ACL, CCL type ligament surgery for it, about $3,000. So again, another example of a dog right here in Washington State who served our country yet needed help in retirement. So these federal programs, whether it be the FBI, the Marshals, the U.S. Department of Defense, there's no funding set aside once they retire. Once they retire, they're out. So that's what we do at Canine Hero. So in addition to the Canine Hero Act, we're really working on our rehabilitation rehoming facility. And for right now, we built this program without any office. I actually work from my iPhone wherever I'm at in the United States. We don't have a place to go and work. So we purchased 177 acres outside Chattanooga, Tennessee, to be a national venue. And we're building a 14 kennel rehab, rehoming kennel. So when we get contacted by these departments who have a dog in place, and we almost get contacted every week, we'll have a place for them to go where they can kind of decompress from the jobs they were doing. We also have 2 adoption cabins there. So on our website, we have an application for someone who might want to adopt a retired hero. And they can come out with their family and stay in our facility for at least a weekend and get to know the dog and get to know if that's gonna be a good fit for your children, is a good fit for you. Other than that, we just can't put it in a crate and ship it to you. These dogs are a little more complicated now. So to make sure that we're treating them correctly, the rehabilitation and rehoming program is our capital campaign that we're working on this year. You can learn more about that on our website as well. So those are the two biggest things, and I know we might have a lot of questions. Right now, we're serving over 50 dogs all across America. They're all levels, from the local police to the national police to search and rescue. If anyone's ever followed the Hero Dog Awards, my dog Flash and I were the 2018 winners of Law Enforcement Dog in America. Flash had 3,000 appointments and 2,200 fines. She's a pet rescue from Everett, Washington. We went to school right here in Shelton at the State Patrol under our Border Patrol program in 2005. And Flash, when she retired, she needed a home. She didn't have a home. I was working in DC. I flew up to get her. That was actually the last time I was in Washington State in 2013. And Flash had an amazing retirement, and she really inspired me to get this program going for other heroes like her. And she has a children's book. I regret I don't have any here today, but children's books, Canine Flash Becomes a Hero. It's on Amazon, and it's a great story how a rescue dog went from no home, no life, was a day away from being put down, to becoming the most famous law enforcement dog in America. Last year we had Sergeant Yeager win the Military Working Dog of the Year. He's a Marine IED dog, and he lost his handler on April 12, 2012, Corporal Lance Carwo in Afghanistan, the Homeland Province. And Yeager suffered some major injuries. His bladder, he lost power, he's got shrapnel in his nose. And that dog was retired by the Marine Corps. But when they retired, there was no funding to help the dog. He was about $500 a month. They gave him to another Marine Corps family. So we stepped in and we pay 100% of Yeager's bills. So he was last year's winner. You could always go on Hallmark, where you can search those and see some of the stories. And then this year we have a nominee, Canine Remington's a search and rescue dog from Dallas, Texas. Recently paid $12,000, had a cancerous tumor in his spine, had to do a leg amputation. Again, another hero we're helping, a cancer survivor. So we're trying to give examples of the dogs we serve so we can help serve dogs all across America. So leaving that, do you guys want me to do any question and answers while I'm up here, or leave that for later?
The program and then Q&A, whatever you want to do.
All right. Well, that's kind of the overall concept for our program. I would encourage you to check out our website at projectk9hero.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Project K9 Heroes, just like the logos you see out there. We have all kinds of apparel and shirts. Just recently trademarked RED, R-E-D-D, remember every dog deployed, and that's to help support retired military working dogs that are in our program. And what a lot of people just don't know is there's just not a lot of support for them out there when, I personally feel, because of my background, that they need to be taken care of just like a veteran. So, yes, right here.
When they're working dogs, can you talk about the partnership between the handler and the animal and how it really is a member of the team?
Absolutely. So the bond is incredible. We have a military working dog handler here with me today as one of my guests. This is Dan. He's from Fort Lewis, and he was one of my former students. Dan is currently serving, and he's getting ready to continue serving, going back overseas as a working dog handler. Do you want to comment on that, Dan, at all?
Yeah, man. So most of my time has been with like a team. Oh, sure. So most of my time has been with like a team. So like a Ranger team, a Special Forces team, a SEAL team, right? And our bond between the 12 of us, or the 4 of us, or the 3 of us, is tremendous. That dog has to trust us, just like we have to trust the dog. And if that's the team, if that's like the team function of a dog handler and the dog, the actual handler and the dog is 10 times greater. When I lost Sue, which was one of my first dogs, she was a narcotics dog. In Afghanistan, we found 32 tons of narcotics. So imagine that. We worked the border up in Canada and we found 27 more fines in 10 days. But when she passed, it was like losing a kid. I didn't have a kid, but it was like losing a child or losing a family member to me. That's how the bond is. The bond is tremendous. Every time we lose a dog, it's like losing a soldier, or it's like losing a family member, or it's just like losing somebody, you know? It's exactly how it is.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, what's the percentage of dogs that actually survive their service and go on to retirement?
Absolutely. So most of the canines do survive their service. On occasion, in the police departments and in the military, we do lose several in the line of duty, but it's not that high of a number. It's less than 5%. Regardless of their service, if they once they complete that, even if they stay with their handler, a lot of people don't know that responsibility is solely on the handler. As a former canine handler for the police department and here canine handler for the military, we may get to keep our partner, but we're not getting any funding to help with that. I mean, if it's 10 grand, he just told you how important that dog was to him. If it's 10 grand, he's gonna have to go in personal debt to make sure that dog has a good retirement. Well, I'm trying to change that through the Canine Hero Act. If we pass the Canine Hero Act, then he can come to my organization, and we can pay for that 100% through the funding we'll get from the government now. Yes, sir.
So I know a lot of dogs have different, military police dogs have different purposes and are trained to do different things.
Yes.
Some of which are anti-personnel. So my question is on the adoption side, can you take those dogs that were trained as a weapon system and transition them to a normal life? I'm just curious.
Most of them can make that transition, and it is a very difficult task, and that's why we go back to the rehab and the rehoming center that we're building in Tennessee. We just can't, we have the adoption process on our website. I looked at about 50 questions in there, and they're relevant to adopting a dog. What kind of experience do you have? You have kids, you have other pets, all of these things, fenced yard. But we really need to look at those applications closely and decide if this person has the experience to handle this dog. If you look at Axel he lives with us in the program. He travels with me full time. He's in Tennessee today though, because of his health. We're getting ready to go to New York City actually. We're live on NASDAQ on February 11th. So if anyone's watching the closing bell or any of that, I'm on live. Yeah, from February 11th. It's my 45th birthday, by the way.
Nice. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So that's a way to ring in your 45th birthday at NASDAQ.
How much is that in dog years?
It's quite a bit. So.
Yeah.
But to answer the question, we have the adoption candidates there. So when I see a good candidate who does want to adopt this dog, who, let's say Dan would be a good candidate. When Dan gets out of the military, maybe he doesn't have a dog anymore, but he misses it, and he's a family man now. He's like, man, I would just like a dog. I used to serve in the military. I used to be able to handle these dogs. I got a lot of experience in it. This is a good applicant for us. He would come down with his family, stay at the adoption cabin for a weekend. We make sure that bond is good on my side and his side, and then we let them take him home, and then Project Canine Hero is there for their medical after that. So that's how that works. Yes, in the back.
Yeah, so you talk about this bond. How long does it typically take to form that bond to where you feel comfortable going out? And what percentage never form that bond?
That's a great question. So dogs are just incredible animals. There's a reason why we use them for explosive detection, narcotics detection, and police work. They're pretty good at bonding with others. For their handler, it's almost 100%. By the time they get out of training, that bond is starting. Some days it's days one, and some days it takes months. Every situation is different, just like with you and maybe your children or your employees or your coworkers. You might hit it off on day one, and it might take you a year. But overall, the bond exists. And as long as the handler's a good handler, treating the dog correctly, those of us who are in canine management, that's for us to select the right person. Not everybody can be a canine handler. It's a lot of work. It's a tremendous amount of extra duty, and as Dan and I can tell you, it's a tremendous amount of financial responsibility when you retire. I've had 15 canine partners in my life, all that I've traveled around the world, and at this time, I keep we keep Axel with us. He wasn't my partner, but we always keep one with me. And it's very difficult to separate from that. And, you know, especially for military handlers who may get a reassignment and not be able to take them to their new assignment. So it's a very difficult bond to separate yourself from. But usually they just pick up a new handler, and whoever's feeding them and give them the toy, they're pretty resilient to just taking a new friend very quickly. Yes, sir, right here.
How do you recruit your dogs? What's the criteria?
To be in the Project Canine Hero program?
Well, just to
Or for
become
working?
a working dog in the military or law enforcement.
Yeah, so dogs, what you'll normally see in military law enforcement could be a German Shepherd, Belgian Malinois, Dutch Shepherd. You'll see some floppier dogs like the Labrador Retriever, Golden Retriever, or the Short-Haired Pointer. There's 17 drives in dogs for detection work. We try to look for 4 of them. That's the hunt, air scent, prey, and retrieve. Those are the 4 most important drives for a detection dog. But the 2 other factors that are even more important is sociability. They gotta be great around people, kids, and everything else. And environmental competence. So environmental competence, I used to test dogs for the government for a living. And environmental competence is the #1 reason I would fail a dog out. Maybe you bring it in this room, it just doesn't like the crowd of people. Maybe you take it to an airport to go up an escalator, and it doesn't want to do that. So the first thing I look for is environmental competence. Make sure it's social, because it's hard to have a working dog that's not social. And then we consider the drives. Any other? Yes, sir. Right here.
Some of the dogs suffer from PTSD.
Yes, they do. So we see that a lot, and we've had dogs in our program that have suffered explosions, had their handler killed, everything that you can think of. We do see that does directly affect them. I personally work with another foundation called Canine PTSD. They're up in Massachusetts. We just sent Canine Flex there. It was a dog from a police department in the Midwest. He had bit his handler twice. He couldn't be in service anymore because of this reason. Then they asked if we could adopt him out. No, this isn't a dog I can adopt out to a normal citizen. So I partnered with another foundation who takes him back up there, has some, great specialists to get out of that mindset. There's always a trigger for PTSD, and for him, it was a shock collar or prong collar. Anytime he had that on and some pressure was applied to him, he was coming after the person who was doing it. He didn't like it, so in his retirement, what do? He never sees those things again. He'll never be a working dog again. He doesn't have to stop wearing those again. He's just gonna go out, take hikes, play ball, be a normal dog for the rest of his life. Other questions?
How long does it take to train a handler dog?
So for every discipline, it's a different amount of time. So a narcotics class, for narcotics protection, which is kind of the easiest because it's the lowest amount of overs, it can be 6 to 8 weeks. Where explosive detection could be 10 to 12 weeks. But if you're a dual purpose or a tracking patrol dog, you could be looking up at 18 to 24 weeks. And then the training really never stops. That's just when you kind of get to the level you can certify and go work. To be an effective canine team, you need to train every week because there's always issues, there's always problems that you can be working on. And there's some state regulations that have to, when I worked here, it was 8 hours a week of canine training, that you had to do. And, if you could do more, you could probably even do better. But most of the handlers, and I worked with handlers in this area because I used to be an instructor for the state here. Most of the handlers, when they're out working at midnight, they're having someone put on a bite sleeve or they're working on something. It's almost a daily task.
Kind of a follow-up. So I've heard rumored that it's almost more difficult to train the handler than the dog.
That can be true. Handler selection is very difficult. Like I said, not everyone can be a canine handler. So for me, I'm always looking for some. First of all, it's just you gotta have the right attitude to do it. You want to be there for the right reasons. That you love the job, you love the work, and you're willing to put in the hard work. A lazy military soldier, a lazy police officer, or deputy sheriff does not make a good canine handler because you'll see the performance drop fast, and that can cause liability for your sheriffs and your counties and your cities because if they go out there and have a bad bite, that could be a lawsuit back at them. So selecting the right handler is actually more important than selecting the right dog. Any other questions?
Do dogs prefer huskies or cougars?
Just like my Canine Hero Act is very bipartisan. In the Senate and the House, Republicans and Democrats, or my power bill won't pass. I hope that helped answer that. Yes.
About how old are they when they retire? Does it depend on the situation they've been exposed to, or?
Great question. So a dog comes in service in military police work between 1 and 2. We start training them around 1 and we'll go to about 2. So they come in service between that. If they're healthy throughout their career, they'll work up around 10 years old. So that's about 8 years of service. But any time in there, like Lori, who's on that card, she had to retire about 4 because of the injury, the medical condition. Axel retired at 8 because of his medical condition. So things can happen throughout the career that don't, force that. But a dog can be healthy right up to, a lot of them we'll see if, in our program, we'll stick around another 2, 3, 4 years, which is great because we try to give them the best retirement we can for their handler and for their handler's family. One of the other things we do too at Project Canine Hero, that every dog in our program gets a custom portrait of their dogs. When you go to like our Instagram, you'll see the portraits are 24 by 36, and we have an artist that does that, and it's just an amazing thing to that's something that they can have for the rest of their life. So that's all part of our end of duty services program. I really didn't touch on that part of it. So the primary functions of Project Canine Hero is medical costs, food, and death benefit services, and that falls under that.
Did you wanna?
I do. I got a few things to give away.
Do you wanna quiz them?
Yeah, I can see photos.
Do you want to quiz them?
I have some calendars. If you go on our website, on our shop, you'll see all kinds of things you can donate for. When I come here, we're not here to ask for donations. I'm here to just briefly explain what we do. So if you want to go there and look, we have all kinds of nice things you can buy for your family. We have the Remember Every Dog Deployed gear and collection, which is really great as well. So this is our 2020 commemorative calendar, and it's very nice. We have a scratchboard artist named Allie Ravens make these. On each month is a dog in our program, and they all have a story. So we have 3 to give away. I'll ask.
Long walks on the beach. Right.
I'll ask some questions. We'll give them away.
How about whoever most looks like the dogs on there? Len, bulldog, Len.
There's no bulldogs in there.
So I said there were 4 drives to make a good detection dog. Does anyone remember them?
Hunt, retreat,
Social.
Environmental confidence.
No, not one of the drives.
drugs.
I hear the last one, and whoever says that last one would be the.
Environmental confidence.
Track and retrieve.
You said it.
Nope, starts with a P, no one said it yet. Thank you.
What was it?
Fred.
Pray. There you go, Kathleen. Go back for Pray.
I thought they meant they were
Rabbit detection dog.
We have some property in Tennessee where we're building a rehab rehoming kennels. Does anyone remember how many acres we bought?
176.
I heard 177 back there. Who was that?
Is it the truth?
177?
Yes. Whoever said 177.
Mikey Leonard, did you say 177?
If you look up at the first order, it's the truth.
That's right.
All right, last one. We have the Canine Hero coming act. What is the Canine Hero Act? What is the bill number?
152.
HR 5082.
No. We're close.
HR 1152.
2058.
Yes, right here.
between the number
5081.
Yeah.
What was it?
5081.
HR 5081. So for the veterans in the room, this is the best gift here. This is the frontline leaders most wanted military veterans. In 2003, there was a deck of cards that we had the most wanted Iraqi veterans, where Saddam was at ace of spades and other high value targets. Well, this new deck was written by the same DIA officer who wanted to showcase 52 post 9/11 military leaders, and I'm the 9 of spades on this deck. So, do we have any canine handlers in the room?
What?
I had a dog.
I
Former, where'd you handle that, sir?
Actually started the state patrol canine program.
That is awesome. What is your name?
Tim Brandon.
Well, I went through there in 2005 with Steve Gardner, and it was his very first class. And I think Steve is still teaching there, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, it's the largest in the country right now.
Absolutely.
It started out with just 2 down in San Antonio.
Yep, that's correct, because we do a lot with Homeland Security grants and stuff with the bomb detection dogs in the ferries and stuff here. So this is yours, sir. Thank you for your service.
All right, now as part of what we do for our literacy program, we bring a book for, what?
Can we auction that deck of cards off and then donate the proceeds to the program?
Okay, should we do that when Lowell's up here? We'll do that when Lowell's up here. Sounds good. All right, as part of our literacy program, one of the things that we do is we donate a book that's signed by our author, and we give that to Pleasant Lane Elementary School. We did not have any dog books, but we have penguins and their chicks. So that's as close as we have for a dog book.
That's right. Military working penguin.
Okay, we've got a few announcements that we're going to be going on from committee members. Lori, why don't you kick it off? Let's hear it for Lori.
All right, Lori from the literacy. Dr. Shoes, Troy.
My Lori is bad, yeah.
She does.
Good morning. So I'm here to push our Dr. Seuss birthday party that's coming up March 5th over at Troy's Cider Barrel.
Yeah.
There's going to be cake because it is a birthday party, and you do need to bring a gift, which would be a children's book that we're going to donate to the Southside Reading Foundation. So anyway, I hope everyone can be there. Thanks.
See you there.
Yay!
Nathan, Mary, and Megan can come down. Next one we have up is going to be Mary Weiss. Let's hear it from Mary.
Mary! There you go. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Just kidding.
Good morning. I'm just wanting to remind you of the February social. It will be from 4 to 7 p.m. So during that time, eat, drink, and visit. For those that signed up for the CPR class, that will be from 5 to 6. And there will be a separate area for that class to take place. So just come and enjoy. And we have 9 signed up at this time. I can take up to another 5 if people let me know within about 2 or 3 days. There will be an email coming out this week with address and the gate code and my phone number. So hope you can come.
Sweet. Thank you, Megan Shore. Let's hear it for Megan.
Hey, Megan.
Good morning, Rotarians. I wanted to also push out an opportunity. I'm going to call this an RFB, request for bowlers. The Young Rotary Club is having another bowling tournament on Tuesday, March 31st at 6 p.m. There's going to be raffle prizes, a poker game as well, and door prizes throughout the night. It should be a good time. And Dr. Heidi and I are trying to form a team, so hence the RFB. So if you'd like to join us, we definitely need 2 more people on our team. Our club also has the opportunity to form additional teams of 4 if there's that much interest in bowling. I tried to get Mike Jones to join our team because I know he's a really good bowler, but he's got his board meeting that night. So, Matt and I are looking for 2 folks to join our team. It's $25 a person. And all of the money goes towards, I believe, youth scholarships in the area that Young Rotary sponsors. Yes, Tom
Do
Carroll.
the other people on your team also have to be doctors?
No. We are inclusive. You do not have to be a doctor to join the team. Dr. Heidi and Dr.
Will there
Soria.
be bumpers?
Will there be bumpers? I think so, based on what Jonathan Sprowski told me about his experience and his little kiddo competing.
Come on,
very loosely.
I had my 4-year-old compete on our team 1 year. We were so desperate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anybody's better than me or I.
We welcome 4-year-olds, though the parent has to come to be on our team. Because we're not babysitting, sorry.
Alright.
So, let me know as soon as possible and I'll send out an email as well. Also, Sylvia, can you hold up the green card? Last week we sent around a card for Nita Sell, one of our club members. She's not able to be with us physically at our meetings for the next few months because of some medical treatment she's going through. So we're sending around a card. This is the last chance. So sign the card today so that Madeline can give it to Nita shortly. So thank you so much.
Right, thank you, and hopefully we get some good bowling in there because I've already talked smack to the other clubs saying that we were gonna win. But.
All right.
No problem.
All right, and Nathan McGee, let's hear from Nathan.
The day of Nathan's. Yeah.
Good morning. Curious how many of us are attending the Paul Harris dinner on March 19th? Show of hands, please. Oh, just 2, 3, 4. All right. So we have 4 Interact members also attending. I unfortunately won't be there, but I would love to have them partnered and kind of chaperoned to be able to attend and then learn more about the different clubs and how we collectively work together to make the community better. So if anyone is interested, please let me know. And if you're interested and haven't signed up, it's a perfect reason to go to the Paul Harris dinner to meet one of our kids and have a little more one-on-one interaction. Thank you.
And one more announcement, Nate Peters.
One more, Nate. So there's a reason why Len asked me to be the foundation chair and not the literacy chair. I say Paul Harris so much, I called Mike Harrison. I'm so sorry, Mike, that was my fault, so thank you, Mike Erickson.
All right, thank you. I do have a couple announcements to follow up on the Paul Harris dinner, and Nathan, you can put me on for that, because I'll definitely want to help out and be with the kids on that. Paul Harris dinner again is going to be March 19th at Hotel RL, and signups. Apparently, Mike Leonard told me he was able to still sign up as an early bird, so I don't know if I guess, all right, so that's over with. But paulharrisdinner.com, please sign up, and we want to make sure we have a good rowdy table there. Start taking district conference. Sign-up's going to start in February. That's what the website says now, that they're going to start they're going to start sign-ups in February. When that's up and running, I'll get word or I'll send out an email and then we'll start passing that. Again, it's going to be May 14th through 16th in Victoria, BC, and again, that's not Mother's Day weekend. Do we have any spots? First of all, again, I want to continue to thank folks, Grace Kendall, Christine Foray, for the tables for the awards dinner that we're going to have with the Lacey Chamber. Again, that event is a luncheon that's going to be held on February 5th. It's next Wednesday at Indian Summer. We still have some folks, if anybody else, I think we got a few more spots that can sign up, but thanks for those free spots, we appreciate that, and we're going to have good presentation, good representation rather at that, so if you're still interested in signing up, please see John Dehan at the back of the room and he'll get you hooked up with that. And then finally, just again, want to make sure it's on your calendar, Wednesday, June 24th at 6 p.m. at Indian Summer. This is our annual installation dinner. It should be a fun event where we recognize the outgoing board, we recognize the incoming board, and we do a lot of fun activity around it. So it's a great time to come out, enjoy company of other Rotarians, but please consider coming out for that event. All right, we're going to move right into our vocation talk. So Grace, floor is yours. Grace Kendall, our vocation chair. Let's hear for Grace.
Okay, I want to make sure I get going on this here. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and send around again some signers for the classification talk. It's been updated. We got some openings. So if you are not on here, get your name on here, okay? Okay, number 2. Our classification talk today is going to be about it's going to be a question that I'm going to ask you, and I just want you guys' response. But this is going to be a kind of a fun type of a thing. So the question is, who's your favorite cartoon character and why? Or if you don't have a favorite one, tell me your least favorite one. I'm going to start. And this is just perfect with our speaker today. My favorite is Scooby-Dooby-Doo. It's Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
No.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo,
It's a
where are
song.
you?
No singing.
No singing. Okay.
Take it off, she's saying.
Okay, so let's start over here. We got Martin over here.
My favorite is Charlie Brown because I feel like I am Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody
okay,
give that man a
anybody else?
football.
Come on.
Or not.
Yes,
Or not.
Lowell.
Wile E. Coyote.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because he never goes away. He just always can get there fast.
Is that like you and Madeline?
Yeah. Never gives up.
Or Jerry here?
What? Yeah, by
He
the
never goes
way,
away.
our favorite is Tom and Jerry.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, anyone else? I'm gonna go start pointing out. Okay, Eric, you. What's your favorite?
Oh, I gotta go with Speed Racer.
Speed Racer. I remember that from a long, long time ago. Gosh, that kind of ages you. Okay, Jonathan.
Odie, Garfield and Odie.
Garfield and Odie. Oh, okay.
Garfield and Odie, really?
I probably should know my cartoon characters better. Nathan. Nate.
My favorite cartoon? SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Spoken like a millennial. Yeah, rock on.
Okay, back here.
Oh, really?
Oh, another Mike.
Sophisticated.
All right.
All right, one more.
One more. Give me a female back there. Kathleen.
I have $1 for every time I said that.
Pardon me?
Calvin and Hobbes, yeah.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
Calvin and Hobbes. I'm unfamiliar.
Oh, well. It's all right.
Someone's gonna
Good
tell
choice.
me Calvin and Hobbes?
Look it up. It was a little kid and his pet tiger, and they had a lot of witty commentary over the years. Issues.
Issues, okay. Well, I want to say thank you, and just remember that the classification talk is going around, and please get that back to me before the end. And we're good, thank you.
Yeah.
And with that, I want to say thank you to the folks that are online. It was great having you there.